Hello and welcome back to another video on the Rest Debate and to another edition of Raw out of 10. The road to WrestleMania 42, jam-packed with a lot of action, and that's no different on this week's show. We got a number one contenders match for the women's IC title, Rusev v Oba Femi and Penta defending the IC title, so a lot going on. But we started things off with Adam Pearce calling Seth Rollins to the kick off the show. After some theatrics with a dozen other masked men, Rollins joined him in the ring. Pearce implored Rollins not to go to war with the Vision, especially since he's only 5 months removed from surgery and not yet clear to compete. Before Rollins could respond, Logan Paul and Theory interrupted, cutting a generic heel promo, threatening to win Rollins, but missed out on attacking him. LA Knight hit the ring, followed by the Usos, and the babyfaces beat down the heels, leading them to scurry to the sanctuary of the arena floor. A pretty good segment. I think it's kind of just about killing time before Seth Rollins is cleared to compete, gets a few other people in the mix as well, creates a bigger story. So yeah, I'm not against it. As we then moved on to the number one contenders gauntlet for the women's IT title, Bayley bested Asuka, Io Sky, Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez and Lyra Valkyria to win the match and challenge AJ Lee next week. Sky out-wrestled Valkyria, delivering an over the moonsault to send the former IT champ packing. When Liv Morgan appeared at ringside and the women's world champion Steph Baker cut her off, Sky capitalised on the distraction to eliminate Rodriguez. Big Sexy though attacked the genius of the Sky, sending her face first into the ring post. Niall took advantage of a prone Sky, pinning her for the most surprising outcome of the contest. Bayley overcame the strength of Niall, delivering the belly to belly to set up the final match against Asuka, and a back and forth encountered when Valkyria appeared and took out Kairi Sane on the arena floor, allowing the babyface to deliver the race plant to the Empress of Tomorrow to score the final elimination of the match. And for me, I thought this was really good. This was a great match. I thought especially the Bayley v Asuka match was really fun. It's quite unpredictable, but I think Bayley v AJ Lee for me has been a bit of a dream match. So yeah, I'm so hyped about that match coming up. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Next up, we got Penta versus El Grande Americano for the IC title. Before that, the original El Grande Americano proved too impatient for Danhausen, who cursed him ahead of his title match. By that time, against Penta, the IC title came out, and the original was nowhere to be found. Instead, the second one strutted to the ring. Competitive back and forth match highlighted the in-ring chemistry between them. Americano had the champion reading him more than once, but used his power advantage to deliver a spine buster. Penta recovered, delivered a springboard Mexican destroyer, and scored the high-fought victory and successful title defence. I thought, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. It was a pretty decent match. I thought, the whole Danhausen stuff before was quite funny. But it was a decent match between all of them, and I think, pretty predictable outcome. Before, enraged after losing his IC title last week, Dominic Mysterio hit the ring, flanked by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, calling out Finn Balor and blaming him for the loss. The former Universal Champion, flanked by JD, made his way to the ring to confront Dirty Dom. He told Mysterio that he spent years trying to perfect him, but sometimes one has to learn how to fight their own battles. He said that maybe Ray was right about his son being a spoiled little prick. This earned him a cheap shot from Dirty Dom, and the brawl was on from there. Inevitably, McDonough betrayed his mentor and friend, joining the Judgment Day in a 4-on-1 beatdown of the Prince, even utilising the Timekeeper's hammer and the steel chair to lay out the Irish born competitor. The remnants of the Judgment Day stood tall over their fallen leader to close the segment. I thought this was really good. We can definitely build up to a very interesting match between Balor and Dom Mania. I think that's probably the right direction we're always going. I didn't know if it'd be Balor to turn heel, but I think personally keeping Dom as the heel works best for me, and I thought this was really good. Oba Femi then faced his toughest test to date on Monday and weathered the storm, defeating Rusev in a physical, short battle. The Ruler overcame an early onslaught and exploded back into match and laid flat on the Bulgarian Brute, extending his winning streak in main roster competition. Conveniently enough, right before Michael Cole revealed that Brock Lesnar will be in San Antonio for next week's Raw, which will be interesting. I really hope we do get that Lesnar match at WrestleMania, because I think that'd be the perfect showcase for Femi, and imagine what it could do for him if he got a win in that one. So fingers crossed that's where we're going. Before CM Punk came to the ring for what became his weekly main event promo segment, the best in the world said Roman has never respected him and he will make him at WrestleMania 42. His presence alone makes everyone level up, he said, but he admitted that he sank to Reigns' level last week by mentioning Sika. The Usos cut him off and demanded an apology, to which Punk asked why Reigns is still sending his cousins to his heavy lifting. There remained a theme for the rest of the promo, during which Punk recalled his history of the Anoa'i family, including working for AFA in Pennsylvania for knowledge, a meal and a roof over his head. Despite the Usos' demand for an apology, Punk instead said, "I'm sorry for Reigns not apologising to the family that he's disrespected and treated like garbage for years." He added one last jab, calling Usos young boys, before catching a microphone to head from Jimmy. I thought, this was a really great segment. Punk following the playbook of how to beat Reigns. Now he's got the Usos reopening old wounds. With the mind games and the tribal chief. I thought, it all kind of meshed together really well. This was good stuff. overall, Raw this week gets 6 out of 10 for me. This was a strong show, but probably not quite as strong as last week. But there was a lot to like. From Penta's victory in the match that preceded to a long-awaited Judgment Day split to a show-closing angle that reintroduced the Bloodline story to the main event of WrestleMania. It had a little bit of everything and presented a dynamic episode. Throw in the aforementioned women's gauntlet match and a big night for Femi. And yeah, we had a pretty solid episode, I would say.
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.